You know that feeling, right? You're staring at just a massive wall of numbers, a spreadsheet, a data set, and you're thinking, how can I make this, well, beautiful? How can I make it tell a story? Well, today we're going to dive into Seaborn. It's this amazing Python library that does exactly that. It turns raw data into really insightful, great-looking visual stories, and get this, often with just a single line of code.
So let me just ask you this, and it really gets to the heart of the matter. For anyone out there who's ever wrestled with some super complex plotting code, you know what I'm talking about. What if you could create these beautiful statistical charts with just a single line of code? I mean, really, that's not a fantasy. That's the exact problem Seaborn was built to solve.
Okay, and this right here, this illustrates the point perfectly. I mean, just look at the difference. On the left, you've got the traditional Matplotlib approach. And hey, it works, don't get me wrong, but wow, it can be a bit of a handful, right? Super verbose. Now look to the right. That's Seaborn. Just one clean, super readable line of code to get a chart that honestly often looks way better right out of the box. That is the kind of power we are talking about here.
All right, so let's kick things off with our first section. I like to call it Data's Art Studio, because we're going to see exactly how Seaborn helps us turn those plain old numbers into really clear, compelling insights.
So what exactly is Seaborn? Well, officially, it's a high-level Python data visualization library, and it's built right on top of another library you've probably heard of, Matplotlib. And I love this analogy. If Matplotlib is the raw engine, you know, all the power, all the gears and pistons, then Seaborn is the sleek, beautiful art studio built around it. It gives you all the creative tools you need without making you get your hands greasy.
So what's the big deal? What does Seaborn actually handle for you automatically? Well, it takes care of all the tedious stuff, the things that can be a real pain. Stuff like choosing sophisticated color palettes so your charts don't look like they're from 1995. It handles statistical summaries. We're talking means, confidence intervals, all calculated for you. And crucially, it's built to work just seamlessly with Pandas DataFrames, which, as you know, is the absolute workhorse of data analysis in Python.
Okay, section 2. It's time to create your first masterpiece. Let's walk through how to get set up for success. It's easier than you think.
And I'm not kidding, it could not be any simpler to get started. It's literally a two-step process. First, you just pop open your terminal and type pip install Seaborn. Hit enter. Step 2, in your Python script or your Jupyter notebook, you just import it. The standard way is import Seaborn as SNS. And that's it, seriously. You are ready to start plotting.
And you know what's really cool? You don't even have to go hunt down your own data just to start playing around with it. Seaborn actually comes with a bunch of classic sample datasets built right in. We're going to use the tips dataset. It's a classic for a reason. It's perfect for exploring relationships. And all you have to do to get it is run this one simple command.
All right, now for the fun part. Section 3, Exploring the Toolbox. Let's dive into some of Seaborn's core functions and see how these tools can help us answer real questions with our data.
Okay, first up, the scatterplot. This is your absolute go-to, your bread and butter for visualizing the relationship between two continuous variables. You know, you're trying to answer questions like, hey, is there a connection between how big a restaurant bill is and the size of the tip someone leaves? A scatterplot is perfect for that. And check out the code to make it happen. I mean, look how clean and readable that is. You just call scatterplot, you tell it what you want on the x-axis, what you want on the y-axis, and which data set to use. Boom! You get an instant, clear visualization of that relationship. So simple.
Okay, next up in our toolbox is the barplot. This is what you'll use when you want to compare values across a few different categories. But here's the key thing, the magic trick. Seaborn doesn't just plot every single data point. It automatically calculates the mean, the average value for each category for you.
So with just this one line of code, we can instantly see the average total bill for each day of the week. And you see those little black lines on top of the bars? Those are confidence intervals. They're also calculated automatically, and they show you the range where the true average probably is. So this isn't just a pretty picture. It's a full-on statistical summary in one command.
Okay, so scatter plots are great for two variables. But what if you want to see the relationships between many variables all at once? How do you do that without making a total mess? Well, for that, we have the heatmap. It's designed to take matrix-style data. Think of a correlation matrix, and it uses color to instantly reveal the strength of those relationships. It's awesome.
And again, look at this code. It's so straightforward. You just pass your correlation data to the heatmap function, and that little argument, anode equals true, that's a super handy one that tells Seaborn to print the actual numbers inside each square. So right away, the colors let your eyes jump to the strongest relationships, the hot spots and the cold spots in your data. It's so intuitive.
All right, moving on to section 4, finding your style. This is where we go from just making charts to making them look professional, polished, and ready for a presentation or a report. This is where you get to be the artist.
Okay, so let's take a look at a standard plot using Seaborn's default style. And honestly, it already looks pretty good, right? It's clean, it's readable, it's already way better than the default you get from a lot of other libraries. But what if this isn't quite the vibe you're going for? What if you want a different look?
Okay, now watch this. This is the magic. All we're going to do is add one single line of code, probably at the top of our script, sns.set_style white grid. And that one command, it sets the theme for every single plot that comes after it.
And just like that, the result is completely transformed. We didn't change the plotting code at all. It's the exact same line we used before. But now the chart has this clean, professional style, with a grid that makes it way easier to read. That is the power of Seaborn's styling engine. One line to change everything.
Okay, we've covered the basics. Now let's level up. Section 5 is all about advanced visual storytelling. We're going to move beyond the fundamental plots and see how Seaborn can help you tell a much deeper, more nuanced story with your data. Take this, for example. Instead of just a simple scatterplot, we can use a function called regplot. Now, what this does is pretty amazing. It gives you the scatterplot, but it also automatically fits a linear regression line through the data and even draws that shaded area, which is the confidence interval for the trend line. So now you're not just seeing a relationship, you're actually quantifying a trend. Okay, last section here, section 6, from data to decision. This is all cool stuff, but where does Seaborn actually fit in? You know, in the real world, on the job. Well, the short answer is pretty much everywhere. Seaborn is an absolute workhorse across tons of industries. In business analytics, people use it to visualize sales trends. In healthcare, it's used for tracking patient data. In finance, it's great for spotting correlations in the stock market. And for machine learning, it's absolutely essential for exploring your data before you build a model.
This little comparison here really helps clarify where Seaborn sits in the whole ecosystem. You've got Matplotlib, which gives you absolute, total control over every single pixel, but it can be really complex. Then you have something like Plotly, which is the king of interactive web-based dashboards. And Seaborn? Its sweet spot, its special talent, is creating beautiful, statistically rich charts for reports and analysis with the least amount of effort. It's all about maximum impact for minimum code. Yeah, and I love this quote because it just nails the whole thing. Matplotlib is the toolbox, Seaborn is the design studio, and Plotly is the presentation stage. It perfectly captures what each one is best for. Matplotlib has all the tools. Seaborn helps you design something beautiful with them, and Plotly lets you present it interactively.
So, what's the crucial point here? What's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that Seaborn acts as a bridge. It's the bridge that takes you from raw data and analysis to clear, effective communication. It's what turns data into decisions, and it's what turns analysts into powerful storytellers.
And that really brings us to the final question for you. Every single data set out there, it has a story locked inside it, just waiting to be told. With a tool like Seaborn in your back pocket, you now have the power to unlock that story and bring it to life. So the only question left is, your data has a story. Are you ready to tell it?